Let's roll.
Right. Let's do it.
All right. Hey, everybody. It's Charles with Collector Tactical. This is going to be an off-site episode of 2A Talks. So we are at Guncon25 in Cleveland, Ohio. So I am joined to my right with my brother-in-law, Matt, here. He's been my camera guy, graciously coming to help me out. Across from me here, I got Zach with DeltaCo. And over here, we've got...
Heavy from Popculture223.
All right.
What's up? What's up?
So we're here basically just to do what we always do and talk 2A related stuff. So guns, culture, all that kind of stuff. So right now we just got swamped with a whole bunch of that. Everybody from the Cleveland area, Ohio, all of this Midwest area, all the way from, we've had people from California coming out here.
New Jersey.
We've been seeing people from all over the place coming
Illinois.
out to see this great event that John Patton at the Gun Collective has been putting on. And we have this sweet little studio that's put up, and big thanks to XS Sights for putting this together for us. So thank you, and big shout out to them. If you don't have any XS Sights, if you've never used them before and you want a nice night sight, definitely check them out. I have used them before in the past. Wonderful, great sight. So thank you, XS, for this wonderful little studio.
Air conditioned studio.
Yeah,
Air conditioned
AC.
studio.
Killer past couple days.
Yeah.
This is a sexy setup, though.
I like it.
Yeah, I didn't know it was gonna be like this.
No.
I could have really been in here getting busy.
Oh, right.
Not like that, but
So I went around. I don't know about you guys, but if you guys mental notes, I actually wrote down because if I don't write it down, I'll forget it. I'll lose it. We were at the range day yesterday. Us three were at the range day yesterday. There's a lot of cool things that we saw at the range yesterday that I thought were. There was two things that we saw that were the most innovative thing that we've seen at Guncon. I know John does his own most innovative product. The one that I saw was from Radian, and that was their ADAC ambi lower. That thing was awesome. I got to really handle it a lot. Took a little bit to kind of figure it out. I don't know if you played with it.
I have one. And what's weird is if you're a guy that runs rifles, the moment you touch it, you kind of mess up and fumble. Because you get so much muscle memory, 1,000 reps with just running a rifle, basic one. But you get this one that got buttons on both sides. It's like oh shit. Slide. So it took something to get to, but I love it though. I love it. They make good rifles.
I dropped the mag release instead of the bolt right on camera too. So
I'm in that same boat. I run a bad lever on my rifles, and that's gonna take care of it, right? But just muscle memory.
One of the guys, I got it on camera. He was about to shoot it. He ran it up, and the mag fell out. He was like, "Don't worry. A lot of people do that, man." It was cool.
Us three being military, it is probably something that we've done a time or two, especially at the range, and you try to get antsy and you're just getting after it, and then you're like, click, oh shit, damn it, screwed that up, and then everybody looks at you like a big pile of crap.
Yeah.
Well, okay, let me ask you this: since you're military, how is that rifle weight compared to a military rifle?
Heavier.
It's heavier.
It's a lot heavier.
I like the heaviness of it.
It's just
a little bit.
And the way that they had it set up too, with they had their everything that they had, their upper, the handrail was all Radian. It was a little bit bigger, heavier, and with all those extra controls that they have to be full ambi, adds a little bit more weight to it. So, I mean, you're looking at an M16, A4 weighing around 9 pounds or something, like 7 or 8 pounds, with the ACOG on it. I think M4 only being a couple pounds shy.
Okay, yeah, I just know it's heavy. I was just curious. That was a question.
Yeah, we were running M4s when I was in the Navy, and it was the heaviness is nice for the shooting part, but most of the time it's not fun for humping mountains.
It's a difference
in the sand, or for me running on boats, up and down boats. It's
not fun.
The heaviness isn't fun. And 99% of the time you're doing that instead of shooting.
Yep.
So next, what did you find out? What did you say that was the most innovative product that you've seen?
It's got to be that guy with the, I think he called it gyroscopic muzzle brake.
Oh yeah, the spinner. That was from Romeo Hotel Engineering.
Hotel Engineering.
Yeah, that's the company. I can't remember the name of the product as well, but it was like a ball bearing style brake that as you fired, it would start to move and create centrifugal gas force, which was supposed to be not only really cool to see, but spread the gas out more evenly.
1 to 10. 10?
For innovation?
Yeah.
Innovation, 10.
Yeah, I would.
Usability, I'm going to get one.
4.
For what I got now. I don't know if I get a FRT, that'll be an 8. Say an 8, man. And I'll tell you what, like he explained it to me, and I was like, it's kind of
Science.
It's kind of crazy. He was saying some big words, Gyroscopic's big enough for me, But the second I got behind it, and he said, just run it as fast as you can. By that second round, you could feel it kind of focus you. In that third, fourth, fifth, and I was locked on.
I seen it spin, and I was just like, this is on an AR-15 rifle. Like, okay, all right,
That was pretty cool.
Because most people's always. You look at somebody's rifle, they got what a red is lasers on there, is lights, suppressors. So where is this gonna fit in at? I'm not gonna take my suppressor off to do gyroscope shit with an AR-15.
I would say for just like your fun plinking gun, it just looks like it's kind of one of those.
I don't see the application unless you're running full auto. I mean, what are you going to get that thing spinning? I mean, your finger banging the trigger as fast as you can if it's not full
That's
auto.
range toy. You're just gonna go mag dump. It's
To
no
me-
practical use, but it's fun.
Yeah, I'd have to shoot it and play with it, but for me, just looking at it, hearing big words, I think it's a gimmick all day. So,
Well,
that's
I don't know how deep. You know what? Yeah, right.
but for your viewers,
Hey, no.
I'm very set in my ways with what I like, and
That's everybody here is gonna have a different opinion, and if you don't like it, you don't like it.
nah,
You know where I saw it could be, I think, used wells. I don't know if you guys ever got behind a saw. Or even like a 240, M240 Bravo.
I had a 240 and a swing arm on a side by side, and that thing will rock the shit out of a side by side. I'll tell you that.
I think that'll be pretty cool in there to see how well, when you can actually have some rounds to just let it rip and then feel it out. I think it'll be really cool on a saw.
Yeah,
Just
not a heavy saw.
Those saws can get real squirrely real quick.
Especially after the first 30 or 50 at cyclic rate, you're starting to drift a bit.
Yeah, so if that thing can keep that steady, and you can put down suppressive fire in that sense, which I mean, the four of us aren't doing that anymore, but I think that'll be a lot of fun, and practical. But
Yeah.
I wonder if it sounds like a bearing with
It does. It's
like a blowgun.
Yeah, you
like
can
a
feel
mechanic
it, and you put your
shot.
you get cheek weld on it, and you just. It's.
I already got tinnitus. I don't need that anymore.
So can you imagine being online with the homies? You just start running. They look down at you like, the fuck are you doing with that?
What is that?
I told him I want it like high polished chrome, just spinners, and I come out.
I want to look like spinners.
Yeah,
That boy be
Put
cold.
spinners on there,
Yeah.
right?
Send the gas monkey, whatever that company called.
yeah. Oh,
They chrome out that gun.
I'd chrome out the gun. Yeah.
Oh, that should be sweet.
God, I hate it
Or
when
like a
people do that.
turbo,
Makes me
like it
cringe.
looks like
Yeah.
a turbo from a diesel.
That'd be sweet.
Let's see what else was
God,
there
that's
out
like
there.
squatting a diesel truck.
Yeah,
It's that bad.
Oh yeah.
Carolina lean.
Yeah, it's that bad.
There's a couple things I like. What were they? Rifle speed.
Oh, yeah,
the
dude.
adjustable gas block.
Yeah.
Available to get to the adjustable gas block without using a tool. Only thing I seen, I didn't kind of. If you shorten the barrel too far and you gotta put the gas, they gotta cut the rail. So like 10 and a half, 11 and a half.
If you want it recessed,
right, you want it
which-
recessed.
Yeah, I didn't like that for the recessed ones as well. I think that's what?
I was thinking of 300 blackout. Just
Yeah.
when you start running subsonic, sometimes depending on rifle, it don't like all that kind of ammo. So I was like, oh, that may kind of tweak it a little bit. I don't know. I just seen it and it cut the rail. I was like, oh,
I thought it was cool that, even with like 300 blackout, with what you're saying, you can adjust the gas quickly to actually get it to run, because 300 blackout is known for being kind of finicky.
dirty. Yeah.
Right.
So like
Finicky.
when we were shooting yesterday, we got video of the actual ejection angle with it all the way closed, and then he opened it up, and you can just watch the ejection angle change like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, you're running a gun, and it's getting gunked up. It's there, and you can feel it slowing down. Click, click, click. Open it up, and then it starts running like a champ again.
right.
And then
Like give it more gas.
yeah, so there was a problem that I had. I have an 11.7 with a 12.5, so it's that flush fit, and I couldn't get one with my combination. And they said, well, now with there's what they call their limited exposure series that they just released, it just has that little nub with like a mini throw lever that just
But that's
bridges that.
That's tool though, because is that toolless?
toolless,
Toolless,
100%
yeah,
toolless.
It's still a little tool. I mean,
It's basically just a
I seen it.
spring
It's got the-
washer with not even a actual detent. It's a rod with a ball head that rocks into the captured.
I like how it was flush because, you know, if it ain't sexy, I'm like, you know, but you kind of hit
disappears.
It disappears. I'm like, okay, I'll rock with it. I'll do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I'll do it. What else?
I like it.
I know there's some people at the table that won't like it, but I'm not going to lie. The HB15 was kind of nice.
The who?
The High Point
The High
15 AR.
We had a lot
I did not.
of fun at that.
Don't look at me like that. It was you weren't there. You
You're
didn't
not
shoot
allowed
it.
talking this with your staccato.
Hey, I didn't get to there.
It shot very smooth
Where was it at?
All right.
at the High Point booth.
Right
At
side?
this quarry, at the large quarry range with all the steel targets. They were like almost dead center.
Okay. Damn, I kept going by.
But
It's like when all your friends ride a Harley, but you only got a scooter. You just don't. You like it, but you don't want to get
no,
shot
that's
on it.
High Point's more so like you're a Gold Wing riding with Harley riders. It's still a decent bike. It's just a Gold Wing.
Like riding a Vespa.
But are you smiling on that Vespa? I am.
Hey,
Maybe secretly.
It's a good time.
I'm
what was it?
I am a closet High Point lover now. No.
I'm bougie.
I have been turned since talking to Dave at the last Guncon, and the thing that he said and stuck with me that I've shared with everybody is that High Points aren't for shooters like us. We're shooters. We need a gun. He's like, this is for someone who needs a reliable, inexpensive firearm that you can't deny is going to go bang every time. It's not for people like us.
See,
So, in your opinion, the price point is going to be a good first rifle.
They're like, oh, if you need for an
5?
entry level, their pistols were like $550. The rifles were going to be like $450, and that's MSRP.
Okay.
So that for entry level, they're still not the cheapest one out there. Apparently, but they're going to be a better quality than some of the lower guys.
there's cheaper than that.
Yes, Delton when they were still in business, they were sub $400 for a complete
God.
build.
I gotta start.
You get an
shopping
Anderson
other
for
places.
$550.
Yeah, you can do Anderson.
Definitely
I mean,
like
PSA is not that much more.
God, that's like 1990s. You know, Kmart.
Yeah. But if you're looking for entry level beginner, someone who's going to be plinking with it and they're not going to be putting it through the ringer of abuse, it's a great.
They're still in the game for this long. How bushy people are for some reason.
That was one of the things we said last night.
they still
people hate
around-
High Point, but they've
they
been in
still
business
around
for
for-
how many years?
I'm bougie.
I'm just saying they've been in business for 100 years.
They've been in business over 30 years now.
Right.
They've been selling High Points. Obviously, people are buying them.
Paperweights. Better off throwing them at somebody.
Riverbed filler, whatever you want to call it. You know.
You know, another thing that caught my eye, and I'm not a thermal guy, or I don't have it, but the thermal scopes.
Yeah, from the Knox Picks ones.
Yeah, like those were cool because I was just like, okay, I can go out nighttime, coyote hunt or something. I don't need knives or this. I can just rifle it.
Yeah.
Let's go. So I thought that was cool.
It was like playing a video game with that 22.
I'm telling you, it's just night vision and thermals come such a long way in my short life of 33 years. But in the Navy, those crappy green ones that we had where you're just staring at the stars. most
Gen
of the time,
2
Gen
analog,
2s,
yeah.
Couldn't see anything. Now you can get something for
The filters suck.
for $800, and you see them almost clear as day.
Yeah.
You know, so it was cool to go to that booth during the day with a
Yeah.
thermal, and not only that, with the 22, you could see the trail.
Yeah.
You could
It
see
was
the
super
trail
cool.
and then the impact of the steel. It was even cooler to miss and hit the sand and see the temperature change of the sand splash.
Yeah.
Watching the actual, being able to see the external ballistics in live feed, like with those, because they were suppressed low velocity, you could see that, like it coming out and arcing. You could physically see it in 130 yards, able to see it. It was really cool.
Yeah. That is a really cool thing.
That was a dope. That was dope for me because I'd never experienced something like that in my little small world.
Yeah, the only other thing I had written down here was the Next Level Armament, which is a Michigan company. They're out in like Grand Rapids.
Jensen.
Thank you. They had a $150 suppressor that was carbon fiber 3D printed, and it would
22
for 22
That 22, yeah.
at $150 price point, and it came with three baffles. We asked him, "What about cleaning it?" He's like, "I don't clean it. I take the one baffle off, put the new one on, and then they have a high temp resistant coating that they put on it that kind of resembled like a rhino liner almost."
I was kind of concerned when he said, "I don't clean it. I just replace it. I was like, okay, so then I'm gonna have to buy baffles all the time.
Yeah.
But that one baffle they had like 3,000, 4,000 rounds through, and it was still perfectly fine. And then I thought about it. I buy this solution for my suppressor. I can't remember the company name, but like the kit altogether is like $45 or $43. Like, why not just spend the $50? I don't have to clean a 22 can forever. You know?
That makes
Get
sense.
3 more baffles for $50.
$150 for a disposable suppressor. I mean,
Yeah, it's and especially in Michigan, it's a lot of companies in Michigan that deal with military contracts and all kind of stuff. So to see companies from Michigan try to push the envelope with AR-15s or that, I was like, okay, let's go. But it's a hard road for AR-15 in the AR-15 world to like move up there.
yeah.
Especially not because everybody's suppressor. Everybody needs to want a suppressor, especially with the new bill that may go in effect or whatever. Like,
That'd be sweet.
you know, that'll be sweet, but
Yeah, we can all hope for that, but
Yeah.
their suppressors were heavy. They were.
I think
heavy.
I did
They
hear
was heavy.
some today. It's not confirmed that did get yanked, so we might have to wait for them to push it back through.
The GRA guy said it, didn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah,
Okay.
yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it was cool to see them guys out at an event like this. But that it was a heavy suppressor.
Got a question for you as a holster maker. Was there anything or any firearm or really anything here in the past 2 days that caught your eye that will affect you as a holster maker? Like
Yeah, actually,
that either you're excited about or like, oh, that's going to be a pain to make something for, or
so a lot of the Glock clones that they have here from Dyra, I think if I'm saying that right, Dyra, they had some Glock clones that he said, I'm not going to say confirm that they'll fit in a Glock holster. They will be specific for them. A lot of times when you have all these Glock clones, people will think, oh, it's just going to fit in a Glock holster. But since the frames are cut different, they're not compatible. You need to have them, especially made for that. SCT was one of the ones I get a lot of requests from, and that's when AIM Surplus was like, we have a problem with we can't get anybody to make holsters for the new 43X version of the SCT, which is essentially the Polymer 80, if you remember those.
Yeah.
But in the 43X version. So it's just it's the smaller one.
Okay.
But it looks like the same thing. You got, Phoenix Firearms, and they have their 2011s that they'll fit a Prodigy or Staccatos. They just have to be the full rail ones. And that's a lot of things people don't realize when they get them is that they'll say they'll fit, but they have to be open-ended because they have that full rail. And then a lot of these ones like Tandem Cross, they've got all these crazy gas pedals and extended controls, and they make a custom lower so that you've got a Mark IV 2245 that would normally fit a holster fine, and then they make their own custom lower, and they modify it, undercut it, double undercut it, extend these things, and now holster fitment's out the window, and they're like, hey, we're struggling, we can't get holsters for them, and then it's for guys like me come in and say, give me the gun and we'll make holsters for it.
Yeah.
they're pretty cool. Those
Yeah.
the guy at the booth, I forgot his name. He was really
Is it which one was that?
The Tandem Cross.
Tandem Cross. They specialize in like.
They were right
rimfire
next to
stuff.
Matador Arms.
Is that the one? Is that the one that had all? He had all the gas pedals on the gun.
Yeah, the gas pedals. They got the underrail gas pedals. They've got gas pedals that are built into the frames on their Mark IV target
didn't
lower.
see that.
On the lower, they have it on the screw pin that you put your lower to the top. That is actually going to be a gas pedal.
Okay.
So, and their stuff yesterday, I didn't get to shoot them. You shot them.
Oh, I forgot about their. He handed me a 1022 yesterday, and I'm telling you, it's almost as light as your phone.
Yeah.
It was the lightest thing lightest gun I've ever felt, and it was full size. I think it was 16-inch and everything. It felt like just the chassis, first of all, and then putting rounds down. It was fun.
You talking about the 22? Oh, I picked that up too.
Yeah.
I was
How
almost
light was
tossed
that?
it. He like, be careful. And I'm like, oh.
I was
put
checking
my
out
hand
from
in
a
it.
pop,
Yeah,
almost
for sure.
getting, killed by the heat and dehydration because I dehydrated myself the night before.
I'm not gonna say you're real close to heat stroke, but
I
you're
was
definitely real close to
I
heat
was in a bad spot.
But what do y'all feel about the responses from the brands that people that came out that they wasn't like normally know or see? Like for me, this is my first like real event like this, but they were like open. They were talking. They were engaged.
Yeah.
How
So
much engagement. It depended on the conversation, but they were engaged. Like,
some of them were closing down pretty. Like the heat was getting to a lot of people. You'd go try talking to them. They're just like, I just want to pack up and get out of here. It's hot. Like, just shoot my guns and get out of here.
Well, too, like as a podcaster interviewer, and I take this in consideration. If I see you interview somebody, and I'm like next in line, I'm like, man, don't tell me that same shit you just told him. Let's talk about something else. Let me say, 'cause I know you didn't say it 110 times. So I kind of take that. Like I care about
listening and ask different questions.
Right, I try to listen and questions, but hey, just say something else or talk about something else or how was your day today? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, 'cause I felt like they didn't said this spiel 1,000 times. They about to say it to me.
You can tell by lunchtime in their eyes. They're looking for that food truck and some Gatorade.
You want to go get something to eat? Yeah, okay, we kick it later. You know what I'm saying?
Did you have did you shoot that? What was it? Viking, the piston AR.
Oh, the Victor. Yes,
the Victor.
That's awesome. I loved it.
You talked to him?
Yeah, I talked to him. Really seems to know his stuff, and I'm excited to actually try one of their systems out.
I like them.
And then
it had the. I shot it with the Huxworks.
Yeah,
but
so and what I always tell people about this event. This is on my second year coming, but we've known about Guncon for 3-ish years or so.
I've been watching John for quite some time.
Yeah. So this event, what's so unique and great about it is that, unlike all these other big industry events that are geared towards other industry members, this is for the consumer. All the brands that are here to talk directly to the consumer. They're not talking to dealers. They're not talking to wholesalers. They're talking to the end user of their product. So they're going to have that different type of interaction. And, of course, there's a bunch of content creators, which is basically just, publicity for them that we're coming here to do for them. But they have a different mindset when they're like not so standoffish. It's easier to approach them. They're here to like, here's our stuff, and we're trying to market it to you.
But it's also
allowing the public to come in and see it versus being closed.
The ground root guys too. They like starting out like us, or you know what I'm saying, they're not that big where they can't value our opinion or use us in a way because you have an audience, so they want to get into that market. Some of these markets they probably can't, not even on this side, or people don't even know about them. So I heard a lot about that outside because, I'm in the crowd, get something to eat, but they don't know I'm a content creator because, they were just talking. I'm listening. So I'm a consumer and a content creator at the same time.
The one thing that blew me away 110% was Mammoth Firearms, that SMG.
Okay, yeah.
That they had. And the build quality, it was dirty from range day yesterday. And I just sat over there and I was like, the action is still super smooth. I've been talking with guys for a while trying to get an FRT trigger into like a B&T APC9, which I have one, and I would love to have that, just a little SMG, And they're like, well, we can do it with these. And I'm like, I will be talking to you guys this week,
Oh,
like,
yeah. That's the guy who's over there. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a suggestion for you too, as an ammunition manufacturer for next year. I think you should think about and talk to everyone to consider being a sponsor for the event here.
I'm thinking about it.
Just come to the range day and just either supplying the ammo for the thing, and that might be all you need is just to be able to supply ammo. But I got a deal. For the event, have everybody here, all these creators shooting your ammo.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that. I'm glad we met.
Thank you.
So we can kind of get this to push that. And I was just wondering, like, even if they would come next year or something, to have them just shoot his ammo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they wouldn't even really have to come here. They would do better just setting up at the range day, and just either supplying all of the other vendors with ammunition for whatever calibers that you can. Obviously, they're going to have some.
I don't know how to make anything but 9mm.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
That's all I can do.
Your website says otherwise, but
well,
he doesn't want to make a lot of the other stuff because he's got to spend more time.
I kind of think
right now I'm really angry with Subsonic 300 Blackout 220 grains. They absolutely suck to make them. They're super fun to shoot, but they drive me up a wall.
I think it'd be cool if he had his own booth, because all the guys yesterday had Blazer, and all I saw was Blazer.
Yeah.
And it'd be cool to go to his booth and run the same guns, but with his ammo and just see.
So, yeah, because that was the thing if he supplies each booth with a box, or a case of ammo, that way you're getting it through other guns, dirty guns you get a plethora of all these different firearms that are shooting his ammo. Because instead, bringing the guns to his booth or.
Yeah, we're gonna have to work on him with that.
Logistics.
We gotta figure that out.
But we'll talk.
It's gonna be a lot of work.
We'll talk.
It's gonna be a lot of work.
Yeah, you better talk to.
They
Farron Jensen.
they probably only shot a couple 100,000 rounds yesterday. It's not
Right.
it's not that big.
Right.
You've done more.
I don't want to.
Especially you got the chronograph out there, so they can see, like
Yeah.
what your ammo can do, opposed to what the bigger boys is doing.
Well, that's like the other day in the range. Just some guy heard about our 158 grain ultra subsonic round and rushes to our shop, buys 500 rounds, jumps into the range, in the front of our shop, and he was out there shooting. I was like, "You getting ready to shoot?" And I just came up there because I was testing anyways. So I was like, "Here." I just put my chrono over there, and I was like, "Let her rip, Tater Chip." And he goes, "Okay." And then he looked down and goes,
Was it 858?
"Holy crap!" It was 838 feet per second,
Yeah.
but it was the minimum, the average, and the maximum. And then he was like, "Do you have any other data?" And I just showed him, and he was like, "There's 8 feet per second difference, and every time I pull the trigger, what the hell?"
Yeah.
And he's just like, I just don't ever see that. So that was nice,
Yeah, that's cool.
But that would be something great to showcase, is just the quality.
Well, we'll talk
I
about it and
appreciate
try
that.
to get you guys out next year. Even if it's just a small little booth, you can just come with your truck and
You
have
will
a
be
couple.
here.
I'll be here.
Okay.
Well,
I'm gonna
we're
be here.
hoping it's in Michigan.
Yeah, well, you know what? If we get a new governor and I can convince John to bring it here, I did suggest it last year, and he's like, "I'm not taking this to Michigan." Like, well, we'll see. But
Old Gretsch won't let it
Oh,
happen.
yeah, no, he wants
you
2A.
know what? You're right.
We're a 2A
I thought
pro
about it.
as far as the people, but our government still is not.
It's
so
crazy.
we
I
gotta
didn't even
we
think
gotta
about
fix that. So
I was gonna tell them the same thing.
Michiganders, make sure you vote right, vote
Put it on
correct.
my
Yeah,
head.
vote
I was
2A.
like, you're right.
Let's do it. But that's gonna wrap it up for today. So
Talk about the sponsors.
yep, again, thank you, Access Sites, for this sweet little booth and all the recording equipment and filming equipment. We really appreciate it.
And Guncon 2025. Appreciate it.
So
Awesome event.
make sure that you're following all of these guys, following all of us, and when we post this, we'll put all of their links down in the description. Make sure you're signed up and then your ears to the wall for Guncon 2026 because we're going to be here again.
So you should tell them
Awesome.
where can they find you at?
Oh, well, you're going to find me at clackertactical.com, and you can use the hashtag or the Clacker Tactical handle for all the platforms, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. I will probably put out a coupon code as well for anybody that's watching this. So keep your eyes in the comments for a coupon code.
Keep your
Yeah.
eyes in the comments. You can also
Put it in the
find,
coupon. Yeah, put it in the, yeah.
You can also find me at Popculture223 podcast. It's Popculture223 on Instagram and on YouTube. My other page is Heavy Metal Lifestyle 223. That's probably a lot of people know me from. But I need all the love and support. We all need all the love and support. So just keep doing what you're doing.
And then you can
fellas.
find this guy.
At DeltaCoMunitions.com and use code SHORTSHOT for 5% off any rounds on our site. And then, it's just DeltaCo Munitions on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, whatever.
DeltaCo.
Yes, a.k.a. DeltaCo. Do not go to DeltaCo and ask for 9mm. You will be
end
put
up-
on a list and asked not to return.
Ask us how we know. All right.
All right, guys.
Peace.
Yeah, that was easy.
Check it out.